Make sure to like and subscribe. What's going on, everybody? Urino's back. It's Tag King back in 4 true terrifying horror stories animated. This from the title, it's this a film, but same thing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. There's 4, but I'm not gonna be able to do 4. It's 23 minutes long. My screen recording only lasts to like 15 minutes. Sometimes it could go beyond 15 minutes. It's weird, okay? And my camera's down there is stuck. It sucks. It looks so horrible. But then whenever I try to move it, look at this. See? It's stuck. Like, it's stuck. I don't want to be in the middle. So I'm going to place it down there. But I promise once this screen recording app finishes this freaking fix, then I promise you I'll have it back on that corner and it'll be all good to go, alright? But this is level 3. This is level 3 of what's happening, alright? So let's get right into 3, 2, 1, 0. Good luck. No blanket. I got confidence. No blanket.
My family has houses both in Mexico and Texas, so
okay.
I alternate between the USA and Mexico very frequently. On normal weeks, I just cross the border from Mexico to Texas to go to school, and then I come back to Mexico. I spend most of my time in Mexico, so naturally, I'm quite used to the cartel presence. I'm used to calling off nights out with friends due to cartel-related shootings and stuff like that. This no longer surprises me.
He's skinny,
it wasn't until recently that I had an actual face-to-face encounter with the cartel. My ex-girlfriend lives in Mexico.
Oh, L smoking, bro. L smoking. No smoking, guys. Don't smoke.
I used to frequent her house when we were still together. One night, her parents left her and her little brother alone until the next day, so she invited me over, and we got pretty hammered.
He is skinny, bro.
Around 2 a.m., we went out for a walk.
Is he okay?
We wanted to smoke some weed. Weed from Texas. We sat at the bleachers of a basketball court within our neighborhood that was behind a very, very beautiful house with expensive cars parked outside.
Okay.
I asked her, what do they do? To which she replied, cartel.
Cartel.
I thought she was joking until she told me how the Mexican army had their...
She does not look Mexican. Does she look Mexican to y'all? I don't know. She doesn't look Mexican to my eyes. She looks freaking Caucasian.
Whole neighborhood on lockdown because of them back in 2014. My smile faded pretty fast. I got kind of mad and worried, and I asked her,
skinny, bro.
What the fuck are we doing behind a cartel?
Whoa!
Smoking foreign weed.
Whoa!
This all happened quickly, and after 5 minutes of being there, a tall white pickup truck parked in front of the court. I immediately knew this wasn't good news and kept telling her we should leave. She told me to calm down, that it was probably just some kids making out in a truck.
What?
That seemed reasonable to me, but I started panicking after the truck just stayed there for like 5 minutes without turning off the engine, and as soon as we got up to leave, it took off. As we made our way to the other street, the huge weight that was lifted from my shoulders fell right back, twice as heavy, when the truck intercepted us at the very corner of the street. She ran into a house that was still in construction, and she tried to pull me with her, but I didn't budge because something I've learned from my dad, being a cop, is you never run if you have nothing to hide. She had the weed, and
that's true.
I just stood there for a bit until the window of the driver's side went down, and a man signaled to get close.
Ew, what the hell? Bro, that guy is literally the devil, bro. He's literally the devil. I know he's not going to heaven. This dude, he looks normal, you know what I'm saying? Normal old man, normal driver, but that dude in the back, just throw him in the garbage, kill him or something, bro. You gotta go.
And I did. As I walked up, the first thing I saw was both of the men in there were armed, and this made my stomach drop. The passenger looked completely out of mind. Like, he genuinely looked unhinged. His pupils were fucking huge, and he was clearly tripping on something.
Bad language,
on the other hand,
bro.
the driver looked like a pretty normal guy. I dare to say he was so normal, it was comforting. He asked me. This whole conversation was in Spanish, of course. What we were doing. I said smoking, and he asked, smoking what? I just said normal cigarettes. He turned to look at his partner and back at me, and there was a long pause before I said, I don't know who you are looking for, but it's definitely not us. I'm not even from here. He asked me if I was American, to which I nodded, and then he said, show me. Fortunately, I always carry my passport with me, since I cross the border so often. He asked me about my girlfriend. I said she was American too. She's not. And he told me to go get her. I told them that I'd rather not, because if they found weed on her that wasn't theirs, she would be fucked. Fortunately, the guy didn't insist, and after going through my phone, he told me he didn't want to see us out this late, behind that house ever again. They took off, and I turned back to her. She was peeking from behind a pile of cement bags.
Oh.
I signaled to her that we were leaving.
Listen, who would be scared of those people, bro? He has a gun, sure, just duck. Just duck, bro. Even if he shoots, like, in the freaking door, he's gonna just, like, yeah, he's gonna shoot from there. He's gonna break the door, bro.
And we ran back to the house. When we got to her front yard, I asked her to give me the weed so I could get rid of it. And she told me she hid it under the floorboards of the house. So we ran back to get it, because if they found it there, we would still be fucked.
Why are you guys
The
getting
2 minutes
weed,
it took
bro?
for us to run back to her house were easily the scariest moments of my life. What still makes my stomach turn to this day is the look the other guy had on his face. I'm telling you, he literally looked absolutely unhinged. He did not say a single thing, but he was staring me down the whole time, with his hand around the grip of his rifle.
He's not scary. He looks like
I felt
KRATOS.
like he was just itching for me to say
KRATOS.
the wrong thing, so he could
KRATOS,
blow my
yeah,
brains
KRATOS.
out right then and there.
Oh, are you freaking kidding me? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Life is truly filled with horror stories.
It's
These
hot in
traumatic
here,
events
man. Let me
leave
turn the
many
fan.
people with severe and life-altering injuries, but even after the trauma, the struggle isn't over. Have you ever thought about what you would do after you got injured? If you had medical bills to pay but no ability to work? How would you know that your insurance companies or the
My
people
ears hurt.
responsible for your injuries are being fair to you? Then, trying to navigate the situation with traditional law firms can be a daunting, confusing ordeal that brings even more pain. The
my
piles of
fan loud,
paperwork,
guys? I don't
the
know if
hours
I
of
can
your
hear it.
valuable time used up, and the expensive fees hitting you while you're already down. With Morgan & Morgan, America's largest
Is this
injury
a-
law firm, that won't be a problem.
Is this a
When-
ad? Come on, bro.
40
Get out.
times more
I don't want an ad.
endless as- and
Who asked for
when
an ad? You're wasting my time. I thought it was a
changing
freaking
your-
story. Come on,
in the
get out.
United Company.
Come on.
Great aunt's health at the time was failing, and she could no longer care for herself, so my family decided that she was better off at a nursing home, due to her being an extreme hoarder. I don't want to shit on my family in any way, but this is important for the story. Her house sat abandoned. My father and I were the only ones that checked up on the house from time to time.
That's a nice house, though.
It started off small when we noted minor stuff being moved around or drawers being looked through. Around that time, we didn't think much of it, since another
Heritage.
person close to my great aunt also had a key to the house. We thought maybe he wanted to get some of his stuff, since he used to live with her for some time. After a while, probably a month later, things got stranger. We used to roam the house more to rescue some things in it and just look through everything.
He's not as
Maybe
skinny as
after a week
Alaska.
of doing so and feeling watched every time we were there, more stuff would be moved around and misplaced, so we would notice it immediately. Like stuffed animals that used to sit on a shelf, now neatly sitting above one another on the staircase step by step. Dirty footprints and more drawers ripped open, and the stuff inside spilled everywhere. We got very suspicious of the situation and investigated more. We had late night drives passing the house just to check if we ever caught a flashlight or any sign of someone being inside the house every night. At that time, I started telling my friends about the situation, and
Why would you
as
tell
the
your
stupid kids
friends?
we were back then, we thought it would be a good adventure for us to just stay there for a night and play security with the mission to finally catch this person that seemed almost like a ghost to us. Another piece of information that's important is that there was actually no way inside the house. No window open, all the doors locked, and we and this other guy were the only ones with the key. Anyways, back to the day we stayed there. I and 3 of my friends just settled into the kitchen, not noticing anything out of the ordinary yet, except for the normal stuff that had been going on. So we assumed that they weren't around yet. We ordered pizza and we just talked for a while, just waiting for something to happen. After a while, we decided that we would go for a walk with my 2 dogs that I had with me.
One dog is darker than
I
the
made
other.
sure to definitely close and lock the door behind me.
Always.
When we returned after 15 minutes, a single lamp in the last corner of the living room was turned on.
Oh, hell
Keep in
no.
mind, the whole living room was filled with trash, so they had to climb over everything to just turn this lamp on. That's when we knew the person had to be in the house now.
Yeah, there's all you
We
just
decided to go
noticed.
into the kitchen and keep a low profile, just to see what would happen. After a while, one of my friends, let's call her Jane, chickened out and wanted to go home, so we let her.
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes after Jane
James is
closed the front
smart.
door behind her, we heard someone walking down the wooden stairs, obviously thinking we all left the house. We were so caught up listening to the creaking of the steps that we only realized what was actually happening when one of my dogs started barking and the footsteps immediately stopped.
Oh,
There was only
shoot.
one wall separating us from whoever
Oh,
just came
hell
walking
no.
down the stairs.
Bro, who actually does this, bro? Freaking. Who does this, bro? Tell me who does this in real life. Me and my friends have done this once in the 6th grade. And, you know, it was a lifetime experience, you know what I'm saying? But this, in this situation, no. No. No, no, no. Y'all telling me he's like 5 foot. The girl all the way down is like freaking 1 foot tall. You're telling me that.
And when we finally realized that, we all got
How
so
does it look from
scared
the back?
and ran out of the house as fast as possible. There was a door separating the staircase from the hallway that we luckily locked as soon as we came back from the walk. So we probably locked them up there. When we finally all sat outside the house, we just decided that it's probably best if we just called the police and let them handle the situation. As we waited, basically all holding our breaths in the aftershock of the situation, we suddenly heard someone, a male voice, talking quietly, probably on the phone. That's when we noticed that a window was slightly open on the second story of the house.
Oh.
He must have opened it at one point because, like
Why
I said,
does it have
no
cracks?
windows
Yo,
were ever open.
is Hulk in your house?
Couldn't really make anything out that was being said.
The Hulk is
Only something
punching
along the
inside,
lines
bro.
of,
What is he playing?
"Been caught." After 30 long minutes of sitting there, the police finally arrived and went inside. They looked through everything,
What is the
but found
police
nothing.
gonna do?
He for sure had enough time to simply hide somewhere. There was a room completely filled with cardboard boxes that reached under the roof. That's when things got extreme. It was like he was
Oh, what
playing
the
mind
hell?
games with us. He left
What the hell,
notes
he?
everywhere in the house for us to find, with weird drawn smiley faces and flowers saying,
What the heck,
"Catch me."
bro?
Placing
I'm
this
out.
alarm thing underneath the front door that would go off anytime someone entered, letting him know that someone was there. Trashing the bedroom so it was beyond recognition, destroying furniture, shitting into the toilet, and placing a flower on top of the shit.
What
And all
the
of this without
hell?
ever being caught.
Who does this? What the hell? Yo, am I sure this is level 3, bro? This is not level 3 at all, bro. This is not level 3.
Once. Our checkups became more frequent, turning from once a day to every hour, but nothing. We eventually decided to let things cool down a little and ignored the problem for a while. At some point,
Ignore.
he would surely leave a
Huh?
basically unlivable house, drowning in cat pee and trash.
Cat, there's a cat that lives there?
Nope, wrong. Probably 4 months after we didn't put much interest into him or the house, one of my friends saw some figures
What the
standing
hell?
at the window, behind the curtain, just staring outside. And we were just like, great, here we go again.
What the heck?
And suddenly the interest was back. One day, we all decided to turn up at the house. There were 7 of us, and we were just ready to search
7.
that damn house.
Just
and head to
freaking.
toe. Just finding the place the guy was hiding at, and where he was leaving and entering the house.
Just gang
Still,
up on that
everything was
boy, bro.
locked.
Why are you guys
When we
scared?
first got back inside, there was leftover and rotten food in the kitchen, and a surprise for us in the living room.
Those are
Nice shit on a
spiders.
cardboard
Never mind,
box,
stay
just
outside.
like a fucking dog.
Okay, bro.
We decided to separate. 4 of us went inside the living
Separate.
area. One of my friends stayed outside, and a friend, let's call him Carl, and I went into the stable area of the house, because that part had a hole in the wall that connected the place the hay was kept to the attic, but we were never able to figure out exactly where that hole in the attic was. Carl was throwing little stones at the hole that seemed to be covered with something, like cardboard from the other side, just so our friends would be able to hear the sound from inside to find the entrance. All of a sudden, it knocked back.
What the
We
heck?
actually saw the cardboard bending from someone hitting on it, and I yelled down to my friend outside if they were finally able to find that damn entrance. And all I got back from her was, no, everyone is downstairs. Just kind of shocked, Carl and I quickly made our way out of the stable, and to the others, saying if we go to the attic now, we got him, since there would be no way he could escape that quickly, and he would have had to pass us on the stairs. We all ran upstairs, but again, nothing. Just nothing at all.
What the heck?
After this, we just decided that we would give up and not go there again.
It's
We
a
also
ghost, bro.
realized that it might be too dangerous. He never seriously did anything to.
Yeah, so the second story ended right there, and my screen recording ended, but like right after that clip, it was just the house was sold for rent, and then yeah, that's it, just ended, new story. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for part 4, alright? So, listen, I'm gonna try to make a part 4 if I get time. Also, more Roblox videos coming up, and I will make a new Roblox video. And without further ado, see you guys later. Peace.